It is definitely the most notorious stretch of highway on Vancouver Island. The Malahat has a dangerous reputation, and police say enforcement is the key, but it comes with a hefty price tag. Dana Hutchings now has more in Checkpoint.
Stacey, it can be a treacherous 24 kilometers. The Integrated Road Safety Unit has had campaigns to step up enforcement. However, as soon as the campaigns end, drivers go back to their old habits. But as Kylie Stanton explains, there may be some alternatives to stop the crashes.
An average of 22,000 vehicles travel this stretch of highway daily, taking tight corners, sometimes narrowly avoiding oncoming traffic. This is how it ends.
The driver was injured. He has been taken to Victoria General Hospital.
On a yearly basis, the 24-kilometer corridor sees a total of 58 collisions. Nearly half are casualty collisions, prompting a campaign to make the Malahat safer.
Well, this project was based upon how enforcement affects drivers' behaviors.
For 2 months this summer, police ramped up their presence on the Malahat. It resulted in 0 fatal collisions, a reduction in overall collisions by 25%, and a change in high-risk driving behavior. Now, recommendations are being made.
How can we make the Malahat safer? Could it be adding extra enforcement officers? Could it be having a photo radar type system, or even just having technology where it reads the vehicle speeds to slow people down?
At this point, they're just recommendations to be passed on and studied for feasibility. The option of continuing the enforcement by dedicating a unit to patrol the stretch is currently not on the table.
You would need resources in excess of 15 personnel, and I think it would be unrealistic.
It leaves advocates looking for alternatives.
Make the Malahat a safer roadway.
A petition to install concrete barriers has been circulating in the community, a project headed by Tom Jarvis and backed by others with a similar agenda.
I think there's enough pressure coming from the community now, and it may be recognized that the funding is necessary, and it's proven, the efforts this summer proved to save lives.
Whether it's barriers or a dedicated unit, it all comes down to money. But if nothing is implemented, drivers are expected to revert to their old habits, what's now proven to result in more of this.
Our Checkpoint question tonight: how do you feel about driving the Malahat? You can tweet us at @check_news, post on our Facebook page, or you can email us as well. Stacey, we heard earlier the police are recommending a dedicated police presence to patrol the highway. They've also suggested bringing back photo radar to the hat. But many of you have suggestions and ideas as well. Our Checkpoint question tonight: how do you feel about driving the Malahat? Here's what some island drivers had to say.
Well, the issues that most people have is they're driving too fast. Like I was watching, they have the speedometer things that register people's speeds, and when on the way here, I was doing the speed limit and people were doing well over the speed limits.
I avoid it at all costs.
Why is that?
I just find it, the drivers just go too fast, and there doesn't seem to be enough room for everybody to actually drive along safely.
There's a big watch on speeders and stuff, but I wouldn't feel safe driving it on a daily basis at all.
It just seems pretty narrow sometimes, and with no barrier between the two lanes, it's you can't rely on how other people are driving.
But I sure think that they should reinstall photo radar.
From social media, Patty says they need to erect a middle barrier to make it safer. I do not enjoy the drive if it's raining because people drive too fast for road conditions. Michelle says the only thing that makes the Malahat unsafe are the dangerous drivers. It's not a straight, flat freeway, so people shouldn't drive it like one. And Leon says, I drive it several times a week and don't mind it. However, I stay in the right-hand lane and keep my eye open for vehicles drifting over the center line. And our web poll question tonight: do you feel safe driving the Malahat? 72% said no, while 28% said they do feel safe. And one more note, the Ministry of Transportation is working on a review of the Malahat as well. It's expected to be done by March. That's tonight's Checkpoint.